Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Steadfast Skill Assessment Academy. If you're preparing for the Plumber Skill Assessment, this video is just for you. In this video, we'll cover the most commonly asked interview questions, answers to help you succeed skill assessment. What are your main responsibilities as a plumber? As a plumber, my main responsibilities include installing, maintaining, and repairing water supply systems, drainage systems, sanitary fixtures, and gas pipes. I work on both residential and commercial sites, ensuring all work complies with plumbing codes and safety standards. I also read and interpret drawings and specifications. What tools and equipment do you use regularly? I use a variety of tools such as pipe cutters, wrenches, plungers, soldering equipment, pressure gauges, and leak detectors. For larger jobs, I may use power tools like threaders and pipe benders. I also use testing equipment to detect gas leaks, measure water pressure, and inspect drains with cameras. How do you read plumbing blueprints and plans? I review the blueprints to understand the location of pipes, fixtures, valves, and drains. I look for pipe routing, connection points, and measurements. This helps me mark installation points accurately on site and ensure that my work aligns with architectural and mechanical specifications. How do you ensure quality and safety in your work? I always follow Australian standards and local building codes. I test all installations for leaks and ensure joints are properly sealed. I wear personal protective equipment, PPE, like gloves, safety boots, and goggles. I also isolate water and gas before beginning any repair work to avoid accidents. What are the common hazards you face as a plumber? Plumbers face both physical and chemical hazards. Physically, we risk slips, falls, cuts, and strains from working in tight spaces or lifting heavy items. Chemically, we may be exposed to sewage, adhesives, solvents, and gases. I always follow safety procedures and use PPE to reduce these risks. What steps do you take when working on gas lines? I start by turning off the gas supply and ventilating the area. I use a gas leak detector to check for leaks before and after work. I ensure all joints are sealed with approved fittings and test the system under pressure before allowing gas flow. I also hold a valid gas fitter license. What is your process for installing hot and cold water systems? I first identify the connection points, then install hot and cold supply lines using the correct materials like PEX or copper. I connect the lines to mixers, fixtures, and water heaters. After installation, I test the pressure and check for leaks. I also ensure the system is properly insulated. How do you unclog or maintain drainage systems? To unclog drains, I use manual plungers, drain snakes, or high-pressure water jets. For maintenance, I inspect the system using a drain camera to detect blockages or damage. I then clean the pipes, remove debris, and ensure water flows freely. I also advise clients on preventive care. How do you repair or replace damaged piping? First, I shut off the water or gas supply and isolate the damaged section. I cut out the defective part and replace it using appropriate connectors or soldering, depending on the pipe type. I then test the system for leaks and restore the supply after ensuring it's safe and secure. Can you describe a challenging project you handled? In a commercial building, I had to reroute an entire drainage system due to incorrect original installation. The space was tight and involved working overnight to avoid business disruption. I planned carefully, worked with a small team, and completed the job on time while passing final inspection. How do you handle backflow prevention? Backflow can contaminate the clean water supply, so I install backflow prevention devices like RPZ valves, air gaps, and dual check valves where required. I regularly test these devices and ensure they comply with relevant plumbing standards and local codes to protect water quality. What is your experience with rainwater and grey water systems? I've installed rainwater harvesting systems and grey water reuse systems for both domestic and commercial use. I make sure they're separate from potable water, use proper filters and pumps, and comply with local environmental guidelines. These systems help conserve water and reduce utility costs. How do you test for water pressure and system leaks? I use a pressure gauge to test the water pressure and compare it against standard level. To find leaks, I visually inspect joints and use leak detection spray or moisture meters. I retest to ensure the system is working efficiently and safely. How do you ensure safety when working in confined spaces? Before entering, I assess the space for hazards such as poor ventilation or gases. I follow confined space entry procedures, wear appropriate PPE, and ensure there's proper lighting and communication. I never work alone in confined spaces and always have emergency measures ready. What is your approach to installing and testing gas hot water systems? I begin by positioning the unit, connecting the cold inlet and hot outlet pipes, and then running the gas line. I check all joints using soapy water or a gas detector. Finally, I test the ignition, check the burner pressure, and ensure the temperature and pressure relief valves function correctly. How do you manage emergency plumbing situations like a burst pipe? In an emergency, I quickly shut off the main water supply to stop further damage. I locate the burst section, drain the line, and replace or repair the pipe. I work efficiently under pressure and ensure that the client is informed and reassured throughout the process. How do you communicate with clients and team members on a job? I maintain clear, polite communication with clients, explaining the scope of work, timelines, and costs upfront. With team members, I collaborate effectively, attend site meetings, and follow schedules to ensure a coordinated and successful project outcome. How do you manage time and prioritize tasks on large projects? I review the project scope, break it into manageable tasks, and schedule work based on urgency and dependencies. I gather materials in advance, minimize downtime, and stay flexible to handle unexpected issues. Good planning helps me complete projects on within budget. How do you handle unexpected problems during an installation? When unexpected issues arise, such as hidden pipework or material shortages, I stay calm and assess the situation. I discuss alternative solutions with the team or supervisor, inform the client if needed, and adapt my plan to resolve the issue without compromising quality or safety. What steps do you take to ensure your work meets inspection standards? I strictly follow local plumbing codes throughout the job. After completing each stage, I double-check all connections, perform pressure or leak tests, and document work where required. This preparation helps me pass inspections smoothly and confidently. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Steadfast Skill Assessment Academy for more video like this. And if you need guidance or assistance with your application, feel free to contact our registered migration agent.